My history is I had polycystic kidney disease. I was encouraged to go out and make an appeal to find a donor. And at the end of the day, they were all determined to be in good health. However, none of them were approved to be my donor. So I then put out another appeal on Facebook. I never heard anything from this second appeal.
In the fall of 2016, when Sid put out his request via Facebook, that was the first time I really became aware of how serious things were. In early June is when I got the final okay that I was a match and qualified to donate my kidney to Sid. So all this time I was an anonymous donor. Sid knew that someone was going through the testing, but didn't know that it was me.
Until June of 2017, when Karen and her husband Kevin were in Vernon and they stopped in for a visit. So we were sitting on the back deck and
we had a nice relaxing coffee and
chatting about old times, and all of a sudden Karen, she stands up and she said, "Sid," she said, "I have something to tell you." And I said, "What?"
I had kind of rehearsed to say to Sid, well, things are busy and we'll settle down by the end of summer.
And she said,
because you and I have a date at St. Paul's Hospital.
You can't imagine what that felt like. That was just unbelievable.
It was an emotional time and very exciting.
Can you imagine? Here's someone that's not only going to step up to be my donor, she's already gone through all of the testing, she's fully approved, and she even has the date as to when this is going to occur.
We went through the process and went to Vancouver at the end of October. Surgery was November 1st.
Everything went well. The surgery itself, they removed my old kidneys during the same procedure that they were doing the transplant. So the total process took about 6 hours. So I was a little slow getting in my recovery. But after a few days, I started to get traction, and I basically haven't looked back.
It's all gone well, really well. My husband stayed in Vancouver for a week, which was required for some testing before I was allowed to go home, which we live in the cusp. So with the wonderful support of my husband, Kevin, during all of this, of course, spent much of that first few months after just really relaxing and being retired. It was an easy thing to do.
So I've had very few issues with the kidney, or really nothing with the kidney. It's other related things that you have to figure out. But it's been great, and I live a quality life, and I'm not hooked up to a machine every night, and so it's wonderful. And my kidney function is now as high as 70%, and that's great for anyone at my age. So that's fantastic.
So I have nothing but good to say about this whole process, and would encourage anyone that has thought about it or knows the implications of what you can do to help someone else. It's a wonderful feeling to save someone's life.
I'll be forever grateful to Karen for that generous gift, but also to her husband, Kevin, and their family for supporting her on this journey, because that's so important in these types of situations. I'm just so thankful that there are people out there that are willing to help when needed.
So I'm glad that Sid has regained so much of his quality of life, and it's a pleasure to talk to him. Every couple of weeks or so we connect by phone, and things are really good.
I was very fortunate to have the love and support of my wife Bonnie, both pre and post transplant. In addition, a number of my family members came from Alberta or Saskatchewan to help me with my recovery during the 7 weeks that I stayed in Vancouver following surgery. All of this made any challenges just so much easier.
And I have to say also that the live organ donor expense reimbursement program, which is LODERP for short, was a great help to cover most of our expenses for traveling to Vancouver in May for those initial tests, as well as the trip to Vancouver for the actual surgery and the expenses of accommodation for the week that we stayed till November the 8th.